Um, let's go ahead and get started. So, let's kind of take a step back and see how all this Caitlin Clark stuff even started. Besides her being a phenomenal basketball player in college and lighting women's hoops on fire and breaking records and taking our all the way to the championship 2 years in a row, that she had a phenomenal junior and senior year. So let's not negate the fact that she was a wonderful basketball player and one of the best college basketball players we've seen, from the standpoint of how she played the game, how wide open she played the game, and outside the box, because mostly players of her caliber or that are that good, they end up going to big schools. And when you go to those big schools, you end up being teamed up with players equally as good as you, if not better, or slightly below you. But you end up playing with some great players. And when you have great players playing at a great program all together, you're not going to have one player putting up the type of stats that Caitlin Clark did, right? So you have to have two things happen to put up the type of stats that Caitlin Clark put up. One, you have to be a great player, and two, you have to play for a team or school that's going to allow you to actually be everything for that team, right? I'm everything for this team. I'm obviously going to put up a lot of stats because I can hoop, right? And that doesn't normally happen, right? So she was in that unique situation, right? But what really exploded this thing so much, right? And we got to go there on the elephant in the room, and we really got to touch on the real thing. We can't just dance around it. So, in my opinion, and you can disagree, in my opinion, what really blew this thing up, it started from her. People started hearing about this girl making these 30-foot threes, these pull-ups, back-to-back threes, putting up big numbers and all that stuff. That's when she started catching attention. But she mostly caught the attention of people who genuinely like basketball, right? That's not going to be enough to actually go viral or go berserk the way she did. You're going to need more than that. So the other element that came in is the fact that she started beating some of these big schools. And when she started beating some of these big schools, she brought in a whole different demographic for whatever reason. Now, you got people who normally are not basketball watchers, normally are not NCAA basketball watchers, and normally are not women's basketball watchers, right? So you got a different type of people in and saying, who is this girl we keep hearing about that's beating all these big schools and doing it in this type of fashion where we've never seen it before? I want to see that, right? So what would make someone who don't watch a sport all of a sudden watch a sport? And we have examples of that. We have examples of Tiger Woods coming into the golf world and bringing in a whole different demographic that normally wasn't there. People who normally didn't play golf or watch golf. Who is this young kid that's beating everybody? Who's this young prodigy that I keep hearing about? We like prodigies. We like Peyton Manning and that story of his dad taught him how to be a quarterback from the time he could walk. All right, we like those type of stories of a prodigy. Who is this young prodigy that that's just on another level? We want to see that, right? So when we hear about a Peyton Manning, we watching that Peyton Manning, but it's different with this. With this one, it goes across the race lines, right? So you got a predominantly white sport with this prodigy coming in, Tiger Woods, that we're hearing about. Now we want to watch it to see if he's actually as good as we're hearing. And you got black people watching golf like, oh, shoot, someone that looks like me is playing golf and he's beating players that who used to own the sport, but here comes this guy that's going to be the best and is going to take over the sport. We want to sit back and watch that, right? You can speculate as to why that demographic would want to do that, but it's the truth. People wanted to watch Tiger Woods do his thing, and people that looked like him was interested because we've never seen it before. Very similar to Caitlin Clark, right? People who didn't watch basketball, who care less about women's hoops, especially college basketball, was hearing about this white girl coming into this sport that mostly the great players you hear about are going to be women of color a lot of times, right? And when you see that, and then she's beating these schools with these women of color, it's very interesting to people that look like Caitlin Clark. That's practically fine. So we move on. She's doing her junior year, senior year. She's exploding, and then things the tension between black people, white people, right? It's been a little bit of tension that came to a crescendo around the time where she had to face South Carolina and Don Staley and her team, right? Things started being said in the media like South Carolina had thugs on their team and they played rough and they did this. And, you know, I don't know where it came from. Playing physical and playing rough all of a sudden was a bad thing, right? In my opinion, why I think that was such a bad thing is because the advantage that a girl that is bigger would have, the advantage a girl that might come from a different demographic, might come from a different background, different upbringing. I just go ahead and say it. If I'm from the projects, I'm probably going to be a little bit rough around the edges, right? And then when it comes out on the basketball court, it gives me an edge. It gives me an advantage over someone who didn't come up with their upbringing, right? That's something that that they're going to have to learn and have to build up to. But when you see it on the floor, it looks like bullying. It looks like here comes this girl from the hood that's rough and tough, and she's pushing around this girl that's not from the hood and is not that rough and tough. And it looks like bullying, right? Why are you pushing this girl around? Why are you treating her like that? Why are you doing X, Y, and Z? And they don't like that, right? It tugs at your heartstring. It's almost like if you see your own kid out there getting pushed around the bullet. I know what that feels like. I coach my son, and I seen someone doing that to him on the court, and I can't tell you how much my blood was boiling, right? I couldn't stand it, man. That he kept pushing my son in the back, X, Y, and Z. That's another story, though, right? I really got pissed off about that. So when you see someone that looked like you, this is who you chose to cheer for and root for, right? This is who you have attached to your heartstring, and you don't want to see no one come in and interfere with that, especially if you're going to label it as bullying. You don't want to see that. So that's why all the animosity comes when it was directed at the players of South Carolina or directed at the players of LSU, because I don't want to see my girl get bullied, right? The media members do all of it. And from the other end, there was a response to it. If you're going to keep calling these girls, and we know it's a dog whistle, we know you're not saying exactly what you're really thinking, but you're calling it bullying, but we know why you're calling it bullying, right? So if you're going to say this about the South Carolina girls and the LSU girls, there was a response for some people of color in the media that would say things back toward the people who are on this side, right? So that's the tension that you've seen between Caitlin Clark, South Carolina, and LSU. And then when Caitlin Clark beat South Carolina and then go to the championship, and we think that she's going to beat LSU, and LSU prevails, and then you get the famous "you can't see me" thing from Angel Reese, and she's walking around and taunting her after the game. And that's when you got the heartstring, because now we're just seeing the girl we've been rooting for the 2 years get beat, and we don't like how you handle it. And they attack Angel Reese from that moment all the way to now. They're still attacking her, right? If she does anything, any misstep, they're coming out there, right? So that's what started most of this stuff, and that's what blew it up, because now you got the whole country involved in it, and you tie in race, and you tie in competition, and you tie in basketball, and you tie all that stuff in, and it's a big old deal. And that's how all this started, right? So now we're here, Gil's Arena. Let's hear what Kenyon Martin had to say about the incident that started from Kennedy Carter hip checking Caitlin Clark doing the inbounds before the ball was inbounded. I'm going to play exactly what they said directly after, which was their press conference, and then I'll play Kenyon Martin's piece, and I'll pause it here and there, and I'll give my commentary.
Kenny, on the play before bumping in with Caitlin, it seemed like she turned to you a little bit after the Fever score.
I didn't know Caitlin Clark questions.
Did she say anything to you?
I don't know what she said.
What'd you say to her?
I didn't say anything.
That's not.
Good.
It is what it is. You know, I feel like I'm just at the point where you accept it and don't retaliate. Like, you know, just let them hit you, be what it is. Don't let it get inside your head and know it's coming. I think at this point, like, I know I'm going to take a couple hard shots a game. And that's what it is. It doesn't, I'm trying not to let it bother me and, you know, just stay in the game and stay in what's important, because usually it's the second person that gets caught if you retaliate or something. So just trying to stay in the game and focus on my team and focus on what's important.
So aggressive play has been a mainstay in the WNBA for some time. And despite the increased attention Clark has brought, rookies and vets getting done like this is nothing new. But I have to ask you guys, what are your thoughts on this incident involving Kennedy Carter and Caitlin Clark?
Welcome to the league, Rook.
All right.
Welcome to the league.
Yeah, Andrew's going through the same thing. Most rookies go through it.
Welcome to the league.
See, you can't keep turning cheeks.
Yeah.
You only got two.
You gotta step up. Yeah.
You really got four. You don't want them to hit you on you, but can't keep turning cheeks, man. Like, I ain't saying you got to go out there and be like, try to hurt nobody, Caitlin.
Caitlin get gang.
But
fuck it.
So Matt said her teammates need to stick up for her, right? I heard Matt over the weekend, like, where the fuck are our teammates, this, that, and the third. Woo, woo. I get that to a certain degree. Because we're in this together, I understand that, but Caitlin needs to stick up for herself, first and foremost. You're a rook, I get that, but it's basketball, y'all out here. Everybody, we hooping. This is the job. We all work for the WNBA. But because I have a celebrity status, I'm this, okay, I get that, but you got to take it for yourself. Then your teammates second, right?
Yeah.
I was telling the story about same situation with Blake. I told Blake, listen, you got to stick up for yourself, dog. They're going to keep doing it until you hit somebody back or hit somebody first.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin. When we was with the Clippers.
Yeah, especially Memphis.
The Memphis said, like you do, you gotta, they gonna keep doing it to you. Till you hit somebody first. Like she said, the second one get caught, right? So be first.
Yeah.
Hit somebody back, like same situation. Somebody there looking for a rebound, run there, do the same thing that she did to you. Now people understand like she ain't taking no shit. Instead of, no, that's not the response. They're gonna keep doing it to you. You gotta stick up for yourself and your teammates stick up for you second is what I'm like. I'm not gonna
just like people.
You just like you gotta stand like eventually. Like
it's human nature to react to a reaction.
Yeah. So, but like I said, be first. You know this coming. Oh, okay, I'm gonna get one off and see how they like that. You gotta change the narrative. That's what I'm asking to do. Like, I get it, you a rookie. You don't want to seem like, damn, all that. This is sports, and this is the fucking lion's den that you're in, young lady. It's eaten or be eaten at this point, right? You are famous and you are great at your craft now, but if you don't perform, it ain't guaranteed.
Yeah.
You know, so you gotta, this is the lion's den. This is fucking old school gladiator, last man standing. Like, you got to change your approach and mentality. You're dealing with pros now. This is not, I got a scholarship and I'm okay next year. No, this is grown women getting paid and it's, they feel a certain way about you. You understand that. Yes.
Get that respect.
Get their respect.
Yeah.
And that's by earning and going out and busting their ass in play, but not taking no shit.
So I like the point that he's making, right? He from one end, he's saying they're coming after you with physicality. And we know how, I mean, you got to match physicality to physicality. And I don't think Caitlin Clark is against all of that, right? You know, Caitlin Clark has been physical with players in college. She's been physical with players in the WNBA. She's pushed people. She's elbowed people. As a matter of fact, before she got hip checked, she elbowed the girl. Right, that's the play that don't normally get played on ESPN, but she elbowed the girl before that, right? So she mucks it up, and she got in somebody's face after she hit a three in her face, you know what I mean? And she's talking and she's chirping. Trust me, man, Caitlin Clark, she with the shits, right? You know, all this protection that y'all claiming she need, and all this protection that, you know, the media is coming in the cape for and all this stuff. She she knows what's going on. But she's gonna play to the media. If I can go out in the media and play one role and have them do my bidding for me, and then all of a sudden, I start getting different treatment where nobody can really touch me, then hell yeah, I'm gonna do that. But it'll be more respect for if she does what Kenyon is suggesting and say, you got to fight fire with fire. You got to get fear. You got to be tough. You got to do all of that stuff. You got to get through this. You're a rookie. They're testing you. They're putting you through the ringer. Get through it. It's only been 10 games. You got about 30 more left. Get through it. Right. So, and then come back next year ready to go, a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger, and ready to face all of that. So yeah, I agree with Kenyon Martin. She got to do that part. Do I agree with Mac Barnes and his suggestion that her teammates got to be there for her too? Yeah, sure. Do I agree with Draymond Green saying she needed an enforcer? I don't know if she needed an enforcer. They told me she was the GOAT. I don't know if I really don't know if she needed an enforcer. I mean, maybe she just needs some years under her belt. And until she could be the person that's inflicting the pain on rookies, you know what I mean? So, I don't know if there's any other way to do it other than actually just go through the fire. That's the only way I can think of, and that's what Kenyon is suggesting. The other piece of it is he said you got to perform, which I agree. And when I play this Gilbert Arenas part, you're gonna hear Nick Young trying to come in. Nick Young, soft spoken. And Gilbert Arenas is his big brother. So every time he tried to come in and suggest Caitlin got a hoop though, right? They would talk over him. And I'm explaining to you why I think that is, right? Listening to ESPN, listening to Speak, listening to Gilbert Arenas, they know the content creation game. Stephen A. Smith's show has been #1 for several years running. He knows the content creation game. He knows what you need to talk about, what need to be said, and how to play the game. There's a clip. I'm not going to play it for you today. You got to go find it. There's a clip of the show today on First Take where Stephen A. Smith is explaining, we go stay #1. We're going to win because I know how to discuss things and what to talk about. And then Shannon said, you have to play the game and all this stuff. And what they're suggesting is, look, we know what needs to be said. We know what's true, but we know what needs to be said on TV. So when Gil kept talking over Nick Young, you hear it, kept talking over Nick Young and wouldn't let him say the quiet part out loud. That lets me know, we're not going that route. We're not going with the realness. Like, keep that somewhere else. We selling content, right? That's basically what he was saying. But what Nick Young was trying to say is, look, man, we doing all this, man. She not hooping. He said she got a hoop. Y'all keep talking about this Jordan and Curry stuff. Jordan was Jordan day one, right? Curry earned his name in the league by balling. Like, she got to actually hoop. She's not hooping like that. So y'all calling this girl to say she's not hooping, but they wouldn't let him say that. But here's how Gilbert Arenas approached it.
Right? We've played. We understand when someone gets too much power, too much money. They get handed all of these things without earning it. It pisses people off naturally. Right? We've seen it with LeBron James.
For example,
right? We like Wendy, like we see it, we understand. You can't fool us. Right? So we know that there is a deep down, like she's getting things that she didn't earn. You can't be mad at her.
No.
Right? It's nothing she did. She just went out there, did what she did in college. People gravitated to the style that she has. Nothing against you guys. It's her style that people fell in love with. So we're not saying you bow down to her, but the fact that you got to take cheap shots lets you know, like, if you can't just play defense and stop her the way you want, the fact that you got to do things out of your character. If this is not your character, then you are angry about the situation.
All right, I'm gonna pause it there, and because he said two things, because he's trying to address and make the point that these girls are jealous of Caitlin Clark because she is given the keys to the city. She's given the face of the WNBA, like they made her the face, and she ain't played a WNBA game. And they want to drive the narrative home that they're just making these girls jealous, and that's why they're taking cheap shots at her. This is my pushback for that. I don't think that equates to jealousy just because they're defending her. And I don't think I see cheap shots on her except this one cheap shot. One. It's been 10 games, 11 games, I think. One cheap shot. So what they're going to do is take that one cheap shot, and now they're going to make a blanket statement to qualify all the defense that's been played on her and make that cheap shot represent all of that. So all the great defense that was played on her, the physical defense, the screen set, and they're going to equate all of that as the same thing as that cheap shot, and then say all the WNBA girls are jealous. That's crazy to do, right? It's been one cheap shot and a lot of great defense, right? But we're going to talk about this one cheap shot as if that represents jealousy or equates to jealousy. Then he said it's the play style that everyone fell in love with. Yes, that is true. But everyone fell in love with the play style that she played in college, which right now appears that she can't duplicate in the WNBA. Why? Because the defense is physical, right? And she's saying this play style is what they're coming to watch. But when they come to watch, they can't see that play style. They can see a glimpse of it. She's hit a couple of 30-foot threes. They can see a glimpse of it. But for the most part, if she's running around and facing a lot of physicality, and then she has to defend on the other end, and she's getting bumped and bruised and all that stuff, and she's got to work hard to get her shots, them legs are not always going to be there. Now, will next year look like this year? Probably not. Maybe her legs will be stronger next year and she can withstand all of that. But right now, it don't look like she can duplicate what she did in college in the WNBA because the defense is too good. The girls are too good. She's not the best girl in the league by far, right? So they can't duplicate it. So all these eyes that she brought to the WNBA are coming to watch a game, and they're coming to see Caitlin, and they're coming to see Caitlin be what the media told everyone that she's going to be, which is the GOAT, the savior, the messiah, the best player in WNBA. Remember, they said that she can play in the big three. They said she can play in the NBA. Rob Parker said that. These are the things they were saying. They said that she's too good for the WNBA. You're telling all this stuff before she get there, and these girls that have been there, that is very disrespectful. Like, it's very disrespectful just because you want this narrative that she's the savior and the GOAT, and she's proven that she's not. And these girls are determined to show you that, because when you bring all these eyes to see Caitlin, you're going to see someone better than Caitlin, right? And any smart person that want to see good basketball or this style of play that she plays can see whenever she plays someone, there's someone that can play that style in the WNBA, but it ain't her. Let me introduce you to someone named Jewel Lloyd, who led the WNBA in scoring last year at 24 points a game. And she also broke the single season record for points in the WNBA, almost 1,000 points in the WNBA. And she set that record last year, broke that record last year, right? This clip I want to show you is going to show a couple of things. It's going to show you, number one, how they was defending her, right? She's such a great scorer. This was toward the end of the season, so everybody got tape on her. They know she's a microwave. They call her the Mamba. She wears number 24 for Kobe, right? And Garrett Arenas is talking about this play style of shooting and all this stuff. But what if I told you it was a girl who had the play style of the Mamba in the NBA? The way she shoots, the way she pulls up is a beautiful jump shot. One of the best jump shots I've seen in the WNBA. Beautiful jump shot. She's quick, fast. She can move without the ball. So I'm gonna show you this clip, and she came into the game needing 9 points to break the record, right? And I want to show you how fast she got those 9 points. It was like this, back to back, right? So when I play it, you're gonna see her use a high screen and roll, and they blitzed her and doubled her to get the ball out of her hand. They're not trying to let her set the record on them, right? They're not allowing it. They're trying to defend this girl. So they're doubling her on every high screen and roll to get the ball out of her hand. So you'll see a couple of clips of that. But then you'll also see once she starts scoring, they came in bunches. And I want you to see everything that she did to get those points. I want you to see how she handled the ball. I want you to see how beautiful her jump shot is. I want you to see what she does without the ball, all of this stuff. And I want you to tell me if you would prefer that play style over the play style of Caitlin Clark, because I know what I would prefer.
Is looking for a record today too. Elise, she now just needs.
So this is her coming down. She's going to use a screen. Watch them blitz her. That's a double. She had to get the ball out of her hand. They blitz her on that screen,
right there,
right?
providing some length.
But here's the points,
Seattle has it on the missed
right?
shot.
If you sag off of her, she's gonna pull up. It don't matter where it's from. You sag off. Look how beautiful that jump shot is.
There it is, up to
That's how she started scoring, right? That's how she started the points, right?
Away from
Right. So I want you to see how quick these points come.
Make added to her total.
Here's a missed shot. She's gonna.
And she knocks it down.
Well, she missed so much time with that knee injury the last 3 games, but she comes out here and looks fresh. And what a pro to come out and want to play. They're not in the playoffs.
They doubling her again. So she has to get the ball up. Every time she gets a screen, they doubling her off that screen. They're not going to allow her to get shots up.
What the Seattle Storm have done and not
They
done
don't want to
over the
let
last
her
couple
get
weeks.
shots
I'll
up.
explain that in just a
Right.
moment.
So
Here's
there
the
she
turnover.
is on the break.
On the leak out the big one, too.
Right.
Lay it up and in.
Got to be aware and fast to get points. Look how quick these points are coming though.
And 5th most in WNBA history.
He's about to break Breanna Stewart's
Single
record.
season scoring record. Began with 9-11 for Jewel today, and she
Look at
already
this.
has
Watch this. One dribble
quick
step
5.
back. Oh my God.
And 3 on the way.
Are you seeing this?
Jewel, and she has it tied.
Are you
right
seeing
now.
this?
This is going to come very, very quickly. Leja Clarendon up no good. Tipped around. Taken by Horston. Horston with it.
What's she
Around
gonna
the
do here?
screen. Here's Jewel.
They're gonna use the screen.
Needs
They
one for
double
the
her off a
record.
screen again. You see that
Looking
every
for
time she
Jewel
try to get that
score,
screen, they're doubling her.
including LA. They swarm her.
That's
And
how
Nancy
Caitlin
free
Clark
on the
get
slip.
most of her points by using that high screen and roll. Every time Jewel Lloyd used the high screen and roll, they double her and took the ball out of her hand. But look, she's so good, she's gonna find her points. Look at this. How she go? Look at that's physical defense, tough, got around it,
Needs one for the
step
record.
back.
3 in the corner. There
and now she has the record,
Jewel Lloyd
right?
has
So
set
now
the
she has the record.
WNBA single season scoring record.
She has the record. They call a timeout. They call a timeout. Now
There
she's
it
the
is,
new
up to
record
the
holder
second.
for
Jewel Lloyd with 921
most points in the
points
season.
this season. Elise already with 11.
Look what she does coming out of the
today in Seattle
timeout.
on a 12-0 run.
Incredible.
And I want you to
love
look
the
at the clock to
smile.
see
She's
how
been
much
so
time
stoic
has
all
been going off the
season and
clock.
just taken on
Look what she
so
does
much
coming
on
out of
her
the timeout.
shoulders and carried the load. 11 points in 3.5 minutes, but she's got to keep adding on.
11
Asia
points in
Wilson
3 minutes.
Still can play
Look at this.
today. Now she
And
needs
she's playing defense. Look at
47
that.
points
She's not
to
a
break
cone.
Jewel's record right now, but
She's
Jewel's
not a
got
cone. Look at this.
Jewel's
On the
gonna
break.
keep scoring.
What is she gonna do here? She's gonna
Here's
pull
Jewel
up.
from 3 again. Hello! Jewel Lloyd with 14. You can forget Asia Wilson today.
I mean, this is unreal how good this girl is. So when you see what's supposed to happen with the WNBA, and the reason why I think some of these females are not jealous, but I think they're frustrated, not with Caitlin, but with the media coverage. Because look, we could build this league so quick, so fast, and so huge if you use all of us. Caitlin is not the savior you think she is. She's bringing eyes to the league. And when you come to the league and you see someone play that good like Jewel Lloyd, you're not supposed to get mad because we're playing defense on Caitlin and you want to see Caitlin do what she did in college. You're watching someone that's doing what Caitlin did in college. And it says something about you if you don't watch Jewel Lloyd play and say, that is amazing. I like that style of basketball. And it also shows that these guys are not paying attention to the WNBA and watching the games. Because if they think the style of play of Caitlin is all of that, if you watch Jewel Lloyd, you got to love that style of play. And it's very similar to the Mamba. She has that Mamba mentality. The girl can flat out score. And she's not the only one. She's not the only one. In order for us to see what Caitlin did in college, she's going to have a team play the way she played at Iowa. And if you got good players on your team, it's not necessary for someone to play like that. She's got to get way better. She's not as good as people think she is. She's not the savior of the WNBA. I'm sorry.
Right? That's the difference. Right? When Sabrina, the whole Kobe thing, same shit. Oh, yeah, Kobe's Kobe, yeah, we're gonna see. Like it's human nature. But at the end of the day, I can tell you this: history is history.
Sabrina, they doing the same thing to Angel Reese too.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's the same. No matter how we look at it, it's the same thing. These rookies are more famous than the rookies before them.
Yeah,
they didn't earn anything.
They're more famous than the WNBA.
They're not.
Let's call it what it is. They're more famous than the WNBA.
I'm about to say, yeah, there it is.
In itself.
And are they better than you guys right now? Of course not. No one's questioning, are you better than them? That is not the issue here. The issue is,
but
shit is changing, no matter if you like it or not, right? No matter, you can hit her all you want right now. The league itself is going to change it for them, right? When Jordan came in and everybody was hitting on him and the NBA identified this is the golden goose for the league, they changed the rules for him, right? When you hear Isaiah Thomas, well, they didn't change it for Bird, they didn't change it for Magic, they didn't change it for me, they changed it for him, though. They did, right? And who got penalized? You. 30 years later, you're still wondering why you didn't make the USA team. That him right here, he's the reason. The golden goose. When he was like, "Hey, we want how about Isaiah Thomas?" Hell no. It's next, right?
She got to start doing some Jordan shit though.
There's gonna be, but
you hear Nick Young. He said she got to start doing some Jordan shit though. Like you keep talking about this Jordan stuff. I ain't seeing no Jordan stuff. Like when Jordan came in as a rookie, he was doing Jordan stuff. Like you talking about changing rules for Caitlin. She's not doing no Jordan stuff. What are we talking about?
Hey, there's going to be a point in time.
I'm about to say,
where she's going to be the face of it all.
Sure is.
And she's going to remember everything that's happened.
Oh, yeah.
But they probably won't be around, though.
And most of y'all ain't going to be around. Right? Because they're going to get rid of the outliers. That's how human nature is. The game is going to be changed for her style, which is going to benefit all the girls who play like that. Finesse girls can score, who can shoot. It's gonna open it. It's gonna open up. You think like Steph Curry?
I'm about to say what happened.
Right? Hey, he started getting a bump. Hey, Steve Nash, right? Hey, take the hand check off. Now he gets to roam around and do all, but it helps everybody else out.
But that's the issue with the NBA. That's why we don't like the NBA right now. They went too far on the spectrum with defense and offense. They did too much. They messed the game up for the sake of entertainment and more scoring. Now Adam Silver is seeing that affected them mightily. They can't even go and convincingly beat teams in the Olympics anymore because they got a softer brand of basketball in NBA, and then they go overseas and play. They're playing a more physical brand of basketball and they're getting bullied. Right. So that's one area. And also now fans are starting to be turned off by the NBA. And it's showing up when we watch a daggone all-star game. Like all the symptoms, it took a while for us to see all the symptoms, but it's a sickness in the NBA going on. And that sickness started from what they're asking the WNBA to do for one player. Can you change the rules to make the game easier for this one player so we can see her run around and shoot 30-foot threes? But what the WNBA women are saying is we don't want the NBA influence on us. We don't want to play like that. Y'all product is trash. We have a better brand. Y'all got the better players because they're better athletes, and y'all can't even play a good brand of basketball because y'all sold yourself for entertainment. The WNBA, we still passionate about basketball more than entertainment. We're fine. We'll build it the slow way. It's moving in the right direction. We'll build it the slow way. We don't have to fast track it and then start manipulating the game too much for one player. It's one player. She can't get more than 20 points a game, and you want to help her by changing the rules. You can't do that. The WNBA don't want that to happen. And I like the WNBA the way it is. They go in the post, they use post players. What they're asking them to do is, do we want to see 5-man out basketball and Luka ball and Caitlin Clark ball all in the NBA and have all 12 teams playing like that? Do we want to see that? Do we want to see high screening roll, threes, layups, and that's it? No girls going in the post. We setting screens illegally. We're moving on there. We want to see all of that. No physicality, no bumping, no handshake. That's what we want to see in the WNBA. I think not. And the girls are pushing back, saying we don't invite that here. We don't do that here, right? So the men that's trying to lead this conversation, you need to actually talk to the women and see if that's the type of league they want. You're offering it to everybody, but they're telling you we don't want that type of league.
That's what she gotta get there though. She gotta prove.
No, but no, she ain't.
That's Nick Young again saying she got to get there though. and they still talking over and won't let him go.
She don't have to prove.
She don't have
She can
well,
either
she
be
still to
Jimmy
herself.
Fredette or
She has to prove that she can play in the WNBA.
For the girls.
Yeah,
she can be Jimmy Fredette.
No. What I'm saying is she has to prove that she can play for the women themselves.
Yeah.
For media themselves, the marketing is they want her right now.
Yeah, and that's what though, man, it's.
He's right.
Gil
the media and Caitlin's fans, not basketball fans. I want to differentiate that. There's Caitlin fans, and then there's media, right? Basketball fans are not the same as Caitlin fans. Some people that followed Caitlin from the NCAA to WNBA just like Caitlin. They didn't come for basketball, because if they did and they seen Jewel Lord, they would be Jewel Lord fans all of a sudden. Right. So you got to ask yourself, if it's players better than Caitlin who play a more appeasing style of basketball, and they lead in the league in scoring, and they already got 2 championships like Jewel Lord does, and a gold medal, how come she's not the one getting marketed? So you have to ask yourself why. What's the difference between Jewel Lord, the better player, and Caitlin, the rookie? Well, Caitlin got more years to go. So I mean, if you get on the bandwagon with Caitlin now, you got more time with her, I guess. Jewel Lord had already been in the league like 7 years, right? So I guess that's the difference. Other than that, they both girls. They both play guard. So the only difference is one is white and one is black, right? We got to address the elephant in the room. So is it the white demographic is saying that we don't want to choose a black girl because we've already seen that before? You know, we want this one. We want this girl because she looked like us. That's fine, right? But when people call it out and say that, you can't deny it if that's what it is, right? And you can't get mad because someone is playing defense on your chosen one, right? So if the media chose her, this is what's going on, right? I remember watching the movie Will Smith was in called I Am Legend. And I remember at the end, he figured out how to kill or how to get rid of that virus that was turning everybody into zombies. But he had to die in order for him to, he pretty much had to sacrifice himself, right? And I remember saying, I really don't like the way that movie ended, man. I wanted him to live. So much so that I think there was a fan-made trailer with an alternate ending, or fan-made alternate ending to that movie. I used to think it was real. And I like the fact that he survived in that alternate ending, right? We like things the way we like to see it. But imagine me saying to the person who wrote that movie, the person who said, I want to write this movie, I want to direct it so you can be entertained. And I offer that to you. And then I tell you as fans, not just me, but a whole lot of fans tell you, we don't like what you're offering us. We want an alternate ending. And we try to force him to redo the movie with the alternate ending in it. Imagine doing that. That's what the Caitlin Clark fans are doing. They're telling the WNBA, the commissioner, the players, the coaches, the teams, they're telling everybody, the brand of basketball you're giving us, we don't want to see that because Caitlin is not doing what I came and I paid to see. I want you to change everything so that one player can get her 30 points and shoot her threes. Change everything so that one player can do it. And the whole media is okay with this. All the Caitlin Clark fans are okay with this. They're saying change everything for that one player. And that's not what they did for Michael Jordan. And that's not what they did for Michael Jordan. Here's the spectrum. In the middle, that's the way you're supposed to call the game and officiate the game. That's textbook NBA rule book. All the way to the right in the red is way more. That's the Jordan rules. That's the Detroit Pistons. That's the late mid 80s, early 90s. That's that defense, or pretty much all of the 80s. That's that defense where we're fouling and we're clotheslining people, and you're not even getting a flagrant for it, right? A foul's supposed to be a foul, but in the Jordan rule era, fouls wasn't fouls. So they keep comparing Michael Jordan to the league now or to the WNBA now if they change the rules, but that's not true. The Jordan rules, the defense and the fouls that he had to endure was way past the rule book what they was allowing. The only thing that the commissioner did is scaled it back to the middle, whereas a good balance where there's still physical play, there was still hand checking, there was still physical play in the post and all of that stuff, but we just wasn't allowing football. We're not allowing football, which was all the way to the right. We're in the middle where the NBA rule book is at. That's exactly what the WNBA is right now. The WNBA is calling everything by the rule book. It's just a physical brand of basketball. What the media and Caitlin Clark fans are asking them to do is go all the way to the left to where the NBA got in trouble with, and where you're saying you can't touch nobody. We're calling everything, and we're giving star calls so this star can prevail and we can sell tickets. They want to go all the way to the other end of the spectrum, where the hands off the merchandise is what we like to call it. Shout out to Ticket TV. He want to go all the way hands off the merchandise. This is what the fans want for Caitlin Clark. Also, she can score points. And if she's the Messiah and you got to do all of that for her to score points, then is she really the Messiah or not? I don't know. I mean, tell me where I'm wrong at. Right? So you got all that going on. And I give you some more sound bites. This is LaShawn McCoy and everybody's talking about it from the speak.
But WNBA is changing.
No, I'm sorry. This is Pat Beverly still on Gil's Arena. Listen to how he talked about it. And you know he's a physical player.
But WNBA is changing. It's changing fast, right? We didn't know who was going to bring it, like who was going to start it off. Obviously, we have people who've done it before, the Lisa Leslie's, the Candace Parkers, people who came in and kind of like brung a whole like storm with them. Mm-hmm. But this woman, Caitlin Clark, you know, she's not the tallest. She doesn't have a crazy frame that, you know, but she got women's basketball on lock right now. And she hasn't really been in a while. And a lot of people haven't seen a lot of it. Anything that happens with her is going to be magnified, right? Which is great for the WNBA. I mean, I've actually practiced with the Minnesota Lynx, and to be in a game, not to be in a game, to be in practice with them and see how physical they are and how they set screens. You know, they got to depend a lot on technique. Technique requires physicality. Mm. So the game is a physical game. I like the bump. I don't know if it calls the fall over, you know what I'm saying?
Some
but
extras put on it?
Yeah, I don't think extra, but he's probably caught off guard too. Yeah. You know, she probably been expecting that. But I mean, she knew this was gonna happen. Everybody kind of knew it was gonna happen. I did it with Lonzo Ball. Mm-hmm. People praised it. Mm-hmm. You know, they do it with Caitlin Clark, and people, you know, they want to go to the first extent to, you know, smother someone's name for doing it. So, you know, it's just different. Is it a part of the game? Yeah. Will she get it some more? Yeah. I mean, that just happens when you're a rookie. It's part of your rookie hazing on and off the court. It's part of the game. I mean, I played outside, you know, without referees and bumped the motherfucker. That's just how I go. Right. You know, you're a hooper.
They don't get 21.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, right. I mean, that's just
21 first.
Right. You know what I'm saying? That's just a part of the game, especially those who've actually played the game. You know, so. But it's good. I mean, it's good for both sides. It's good for the WNBA. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, bumping people and all that is cool, but it's a part of the game, you know. So
Brandon, we talked.
And he's right. It is a part of the game, and also, yes, he did do this to Lonzo Ball, and they praised him. They praised everybody who gave him that heat. And why did they give Lonzo Ball that heat? Because LeVar Ball was going out in the media and telling everybody his son was ready for the NBA, and then his second son is going to be ready, and he's going to have 3 sons in the NBA, and how they go take over basketball and how they all go play on the same team. And if you get them on the same team, they go win the championship. And then when he said Lonzo Ball better than Steph Curry, when he said that, everybody was like, man, who is this dude? They're mad at Lonzo Ball, LeVar Ball, because he came out with a big baller brand shoe and clothing line and said his sons ain't signing with no big shoe contract. And they thought he was arrogant. And they thought that what he was saying about his son was a bit too much. The things that he was saying, he's better than Steph Curry, was way too much for the media to handle. So what did the NBA say? Well, we go show you and we go expose your son because your mouth is big. And when Lonzo Ball came in from game 1, he had Patrick Beverly. Patrick Beverly was in him 94 feet. So when everyone said there's no such thing as a rookie getting defense like Caitlin Clark, Lonzo Ball was one of those rookies. Why? Because his dad said that he could survive the NBA and he was better than Steph Curry. No one called that jealousy. When Pat Bev was in Alonzo Ball hip pocket like that, no one said he was jealous of him. We understood that if you're going to run your mouth, we're going to show you what the league is about. So did Caitlin Clark have a dad or a mom that went out in the media and did that? No, but the media did it. The media called her the Messiah. The media said she's going to save the WNBA. The media said that she was our Lord and Savior. The media said that she could play in the NBA. The media said she can play in the Big Three. The media said she was bigger than everybody in the basketball association, right? The media said that. So the media was the LeVar Ball for Caitlin Clark. She had a LeVar Ball, but that LeVar Ball had a bigger mouth than LeVar Ball because it was ESPN, it was Fox, it was Barstool, it was The Ringer, it was every major platform. That was her LeVar Ball. So quite naturally, the females was like, oh, they think it's sweet over here? Okay, well, let's show them. But what they want the females to do is say, oh, no, don't give her that treatment because she's supposed to bring you money and you got to be nice to her. It makes no sense. Listen to LaShawn McCoy.
I'm going to go to Commissioner. When Michael Jordan was Michael Jordan, and before he kind of ran the NBA, he was that superstar that was coming there, right? It was the Jordan rule. That the Pistons was, hey, Jordan coming in the lane, you knock him down, you do whatever you got to do to him. That, even though it's basketball, which that wasn't, but it was part of trying to execute a plan against the greatest player that we see in the game. At that time was the biggest exciting player, like Caitlin is. But if you look at the way Michael Jordan's careers went, right, and he is a great player and he was tough, David Stern, the commissioner, he changed that. Hold up. Y'all are not about to mess up the biggest thing for the NBA, who's Michael Jordan. Let's put it in context right now today. The commissioner, you step in there and say, y'all are not about to mess up the biggest thing that's bringing all the awareness to the game from Caitlin. If you look at Michael Jordan, he was the first person to really get them personalized, customized sneakers deals. Right? Because before everybody was signing to Converse and all them. No, Jordan had his own shoe. This is how I want to design it. And ever since then, you see all these big contracts from LeBron, all these other guys. Caitlin's the same way. Now she got her shoe. She got Nike, $28 million contract with Nike and all these different endorsements. She's going to start bringing all these different women to the light now. So I just feel like they hate on the wrong person. Don't hate on the Messiah. Don't do it. I'll be quick.
See, he called her the Messiah. Austin Rivers said, the entire league is Destiny Child and she's Beyonce. Like, this is disrespectful to adult grown women when you're saying stuff like this. The whole league is Destiny Child, and they're looking at the film and saying, I can see all her weaknesses. They looked at the South Carolina game and just seen Raven Johnson, who was a sophomore, make her look like she was an average player because her defense was so good on her. She couldn't handle the physical defense. She couldn't handle someone forcing her to her right. And when you're a professional that's been in the league like Diana Taurasi for like 15, 20 years, it's very easy to pick up on nuances like that just by watching the film. And they can see, I know exactly what she can't do and what she can do and what her weaknesses is. So if they're telling me that this is our savior, the females are looking at it like, she's clearly not. Maybe she could turn into it. Maybe she has the potential, but what the media is saying right now is OD. It's OD. Like, I don't see a savior, right? So for LaShawn McCoy to call her the GOAT, he called her the GOAT several times during that show. He calls her the GOAT already, like the GOAT of women's basketball, not college. He said that's the best female basketball he ever seen. He said she's the GOAT. That's what he called her, and now he's calling her the Messiah. And I beg to differ, right? I beg to differ because what I really think she is more like John the Baptist, right? When you looked at John the Baptist, if you know anything about the Bible, is people thought he was the Messiah because he was baptizing people in water. And because he spoke like someone that was a teacher or a rabbi, they mistaked him for the Messiah. Some people even call him Rabbi and the Messiah. He had to correct them. I'm not the Messiah. Right? I'm not the Messiah. But people looked at it and thought it was. We thought Larry Bird and Magic might have been the Messiah. But they were John the Baptist. They was the one that was supposed to come before the Messiah. I think Juju Watkins is going to be the person that's really going to do what everyone's saying Caitlin Clark is going to do. Caitlin Clark just came to set the tables for her. right? Here's what John the Baptist said. Oh, this is what John said. If you look at it in the highlight, he said, it is who coming after me is preferred before me, whose shoe latchet I am not worthy to unloose. This is after they asked him, why are you baptizing? We thought you was the Messiah. You doing all this baptize. He said, nah, man, I baptize in water. What we're seeing from Caitlyn right now is a water baptism. But Juju Watkins is going to come and light it on fire. He baptized with fire. She is going to baptize with fire. Caitlin Clark cannot, she's not worthy enough to untie her sneakers, her Nikes. So what Caitlin Clark is doing is great for the NBA or the WNBA, but what the people that's going to come after her, they're doing, we ain't seen the Messiah yet. This ain't it. Because the Messiah is going to garner this much attention that Caitlin has, but they're also going to do it on the court as well. What Caitlin Clark was told to everybody that she was going to do is not translating to wins, is not translating to her dominating and none of that. That's why they're trying to ask them to change the game. Can you change the game? Please stop calling fouls. Please let her get away with things. Please give her star calls. Change the whole rule book just for Caitlin so we can see her do what she did at Iowa. She changed it. She still might not do it. And based on what we just seen Jewel Lord doing against the same type of defense, what do you think Jewel Lord is going to do if they change the rules? And there's more players like Jewel Lord. So what do you think they're going to do? Anescu shoots better than Caitlin Clark and shoots it from a deep range. That's why she was in the three-point contest against Curry. I hope to see her in the three-point contest again this All-Star break. I hope to see Caitlin there as well. I think they both should be there, right? That'd be really good going against Steph and Clay, maybe. Let's see how that works out. But Anescu is like that. Kelsey Plum is like that. Aja Wilson is like that. And there's some more out there as well. So, I mean, I'm going to open the phone lines up, man. I'm going to read y'all comments. I'm going to take y'all phone calls. And let's have a talk about this thing, man. Tell me where I'm right at. Tell me where I'm wrong at. You know, you can tell me if I'm wrong. I accept it. But yeah, I got to check a freshman in high school named Kalina Smith. I'm pretty sure it's a lot, man. Yeah, we haven't seen what LaShawn McCoy called the Messiah. We ain't seen it yet. We ain't seen it. This ain't it. This ain't Messiah work right here that we're seeing. This is not Messiah work. That's not what it is. You got to stop calling her the savior of the WNBA. She bought an audience, but it's another reason why their audience followed her there. They followed her there because what she did in college. Adam Morrison, JJ Redick, and Jimmer Fredette all had phenomenal college senior years and junior years shooting the ball like that. Adam Morrison was shooting from all over the place, so much so he tricked the Bobcats into drafting him number 1. And he had a couple of good games. He scored 28, 30, 37, you know what I mean? He had some 8-point games and all that stuff, but for the most part, he wasn't it. And we found out really quick, and then he was out of the league. Roland Curtis, what's up, brother?
So, Mel, yeah, man, good topic. Yeah, I've been kind of following what's been happening. I guess everybody's been following it because it's been making a lot of news. But what isn't making too much news is Caitlin Clark's production on Sunday. So she had her team lost by 36 points. The Liberty beat them 104-68. And Caitlin Clark had only 3 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. She shot 10% from the field, 15% from 3, and she had 3 turnovers, but she's averaging 5.7 turnovers. So I mean, this is disappointing because a lot of us are not, a lot, like I say, even you say casual basketball fans, casual sports fans, we're not coming to watch Jewel Lloyd or Diana Taurasi, or if you told me about Dewana Bonner, Wilson. A lot of us are coming because they told us that, like you said, Caitlin Clark, they're saying Caitlin Clark is the Messiah. And we're coming and she's doing, I mean, I don't even know what is like the opposite of a Messiah.
That ain't
She's
the
doing
Messiah.
less
Yeah,
than
she doing demon work. 3 points, losing by 36. That's demon work. That ain't the Messiah.
Yeah, the last time you guys were on, you mentioned that she had 8 points in that other game. Now she has 3 points in this last game, and it's like, man, it's so disappointing. I mean, now I'm not even looking forward to the to the Diana Taurasi game on the 30th. I think she's gonna bomb. I think she's gonna. I thought she was gonna probably show her up because of all the trash that Taurasi's been talking, but now I think Caitlin Clark is just gonna lay more eggs because it seems like the pressure or whatever in the defense and everything is just getting to her, and she's performing worse than worse. I mean, even when LeBron came in, or anybody who came into any league, and they had so much hype on them, I don't remember them doing stuff like this, you know. So I know we talked about going to see a WNBA game, but I think I'm gonna hold off a little bit and watch a little bit more.
Hey, no, but look, but
because
listen, it's good basketball still being played, and it's good players on the floor. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, you might not get to see Iowa Caitlin Clark, but you get to see Aja Wilson, who's a great player in the post, and just to see her explosion when she takes off, like, you know, her first step. Man, I love it, man. Like, she looked like Aja Wilson looked like she might be on that PED. Like, she's like the way she moves is unreal. Like, we seen Brittany Griner be tall and be able to dunk and stuff like that, but the way she moved was very much like a female. Aja Wilson, she don't move like no female, bro. I mean, like,
yeah, man.
DeWanna Bonner is about 6'4", 6'5", and most of them girls that was that height, like Lisa Leslie, played in the post. Candace Parker had a little bit of a outside game, but Candace Parker is more like an Anthony Davis with her versatility as a tall guy, but a tall girl. But but DeWanna Bonner is like Kevin Durant on the perimeter. She don't play no post basketball. She's a straight up guard at 6'5" with a sweet touch, just like Kevin Durant. Like, it's so much good basketball out there, man. It's unreal.
Right. But all they're putting in our face is Caitlin Clark. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't know who DeWanna Bonner was. And if it wasn't for you today, I didn't know who Jewel Lloyd was. I never heard of her. And then after you showed the little clips, I went on and just kind of looked at her averages and stuff, and I'm trying to find highlights about her. But man, it's tough because in my face every day, is Caitlin Clark, and she's kind of hurting the league a little bit.
And whose fault is that? That's the WNBA's fault. No, it's not the WNBA's fault. It's the media's fault, because they told us that lie. And Mikey Brass, when Skylar Diggins plays for the Storm, which is so imagine Skylar Diggins alongside with Jewel Lloyd, which I just showed y'all clips of. They on the same squad as a backcourt. And that's scary because Skylar can ball, right? So yeah. That's what they're looking like over there. And yeah, you're right. You're right, Adam. We do got to do an exorcism, because the exorcism they want to do is to remove defense and fouls. You know, they all of that. But go ahead, Roland.
No, I agree. I agree with you that it's the media. Not only did they push her up, like like you said, they were the LeVar Ball for Caitlin Clark, and they put her out there like that. But then even now that she came in here and she's kind of tripping all over the place, they're still trying to push her as the Messiah, as the dude on Speak said.
Right.
And it's funny. I like the analogy with Caitlin Clark being John the Baptist and Juju Watkins being Christ. But you know what? The funny thing about scriptures is, I remember there's a verse where Christ said that he said nobody born of woman is greater than John the Baptist. And I've asked people in church, so like, what does that mean? How can John the Baptist be the greatest person born of woman? Because I mean, David was born of woman, Elisha were born of women, Moses was born of woman. So how can Christ say that John the Baptist? And most people don't have an answer. They just say he must be because Christ said it, but nobody understands why he would say that, unless he's saying that just because this is the person who's going to get you away from me. Maybe that's why he's the greatest man ever. But
yeah, because and we'll talk about it more offline. But it's because the work that John did paved the way for what Christ did. I mean, he really did. He went out and did everything that Christ did, but it was just the training wheels version of it. baptize them with
All right,
water.
man.
Like everybody was already ready. Imagine if Christ showed up and nobody knew what baptism was.
Right.
Now he got to teach them all of that now. You know what I mean? So John the Baptist was.
So we just need Caitlin Clark to live up to the John the Baptist, because you're not even living up to that. So, man, thank you for taking my call, man. But yeah, I'll keep watching, I'll keep listening, and thank you. I appreciate all the information you've given us about the WNBA. But I'm gonna just keep listening and watching, and I'm not gonna make a decision right now, but I'm gonna keep listening to what you guys have, and hopefully the WNBA and Caitlin Clark can step it up, and hopefully all this attention won't be lost after this season. But thank you for taking my call.
All right, thanks, man. All right, let's get 2 more phone calls in. Super chat from K-Sun Quit, man. My blood. The Fever players weak for not riding for her. Where were her teammates said they don't have any Smith Holmes or Morningside in them, man. Yeah, you're right. They don't, man. But that's okay though. Caitlin gotta get tough too, man. So we'll see if they do something different later, man. Chris, what's up from Raleigh?
What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's up, man? What's your thoughts?
What you talking about, Caitlin Clark?
Of course, man. Are you watching the show or not, man? Good Lord, man.
I just came on, man. I'll be late watching y'all, man.
Yeah, we still talking about Caitlin.
It's like this, man. I feel like the media is just putting too much on her, man, for real. One thing about LeBron James, as much as I, criticize LeBron, he's the most hyped guy ever. Out of all sports, LeBron James had the biggest hype. And even though, personally, I kind of feel like LeBron James kind of underperformed. He was supposed to have more, but he exceeded expectations.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like not everybody can handle that. I mean, we've seen players before LeBron and after LeBron. They put all this hype on somebody. And then when they're not performing to what they expect them to, then they start to criticize.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's not fair. This soon is her rookie year. She's playing against, females that's been at that high level. And to be honest, those WNBA players, they play tougher than these NBA players. You know why? Because they're not getting paid $200-300 million.
Correct.
They're not getting paid all this money. See, these dudes, the NBA players, they got it made. They get the best everything. The best flights, massages anytime they want to. NBA players bag the baddest women. Out of rappers, any other athletes, NBA players bag
I gotta get
a ton of women.
Yeah, but I gotta get a WNBA credit for bagging a ton of women too. Boy, they be bagging them too. They be bagging each other. But go ahead.
But you get what I'm saying. I'm just saying,
100%.
NBA, they got the best of everything.
Yeah.
So they don't have to work and play as hard as them Them WNBA players, some of them doing OnlyFans just to keep the money flowing. They ain't getting paid a whole bunch of money. No disrespect.
Are you subscribed to anybody's OnlyFans that's in the WNBA?
Nah, I can't get down with that.
Oh, okay.
I ain't about spending no money to watch no videos now. But I'll pay to get some now. But no, seriously though, man. Those WNBA, man, them women in there, man, they hungry, man. So anytime they see Caitlin Clark on the schedule,
oh yeah,
they gonna play hard. They not playing because everybody's coming to see Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And they know that. So of course they're gonna maximize the opportunity. I'm about to talk trash.
Yeah.
I'm about to lock her up on defense.
Yep.
I'm about to cross her and try to score on her. I'm about to make her look bad for me.
Yep.
I just hate the media. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just to piggyback off what you just said. Let me ask you this: if you was playing in high school and you ain't got no recruitment letters yet, you good, and you look on the schedule and it's a guy that go to your rival school who's been recruited by everybody, and he's already committed to North Carolina, right? He's going to Tar Heel Nation. He's already committed, but it's gonna be 6 scouts there just in case they can, they want to scout him just in case they can actually steal him, right? And these 6 scouts gonna be there. And you got to guard this dude in this game. What is going through your mind?
I'm about to kill him.
Is that jealousy?
It's hunger. It ain't jealousy.
Exactly. And exactly what you just explained.
It's being competitive.
Exactly.
It's being competitive.
Exactly.
This guy, he's the next big thing. Okay, I'm about to prove that I'm that guy too. And this is the best opportunity is to do it when everybody's here. I'm about to cook them.
Correct.
And I just hate the media is crying. Oh, y'all need to leave her alone. Y'all bullying her. Just let her go off. Let her go off. Why would they let her go off?
Yep.
No, we competing. Them women hungry. They trying to stay in the league, and not only stay in the league, they trying to get some money.
Yep.
So they're not gonna take it easy on Caitlin Clark. I ain't gonna hold you up because I know you're trying to take another call, man. But I mean, Caitlin Clark gonna have a rough one, man.
Yeah, she better get better. She better get better, and she better change her mindset. Nobody's coming to save you. The media can't save you. These girls are not letting up, and they're gonna have people like Monica McNutt, Shanae Gumake, Carrie Champion. These people are going to keep going into the media, and every time some guy tells them that what they need to do, they're going to push back and tell them, no, this is how we play. We've played in the WNBA. This is what we do. This is what we want to continue to do. We're not letting up just because y'all want us to let up so y'all can see the alternate ending y'all want to see. We're not doing it, and I appreciate them for doing it, man. Thanks for the call, bro.
Oh, one more thing. Hold up.
Yeah.
I don't want you to answer. I'm gonna just leave you with this.
All right.
If I'm the commissioner of the WNBA, and I know Caitlin Clark is my ticket to success, because if Caitlin Clark does not succeed, there's a possibility in 5 to 10 years the WNBA won't exist. I'm gonna have a meeting with the referees. I'm sending emails out to every coach. I'm telling the referees, hey, every time somebody touch Caitlin Clark, foul. Every time somebody talking trash to Caitlin Clark, text. I'm telling all the coaches, you better tell them women that to keep their hands off Caitlin Clark. And I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, that sounds like something that they would do in the NBA, and I think that's what people want to see. There's fans of Caitlin, and I think people that are just genuinely fans of basketball don't want to see that. Right, they want to see it called across the board the same way, regardless of the name on the back of your jersey, and let the best woman win, let the best team win. That is going to be more pleasing to the eye to see something like that versus to see someone use the whistle to help us get the entertainment that we want. Right, I don't think that's a good business model. Last call from North Carolina. What's up?
What's up, man?
I'm good.
How I feel about the Caitlin Clark situation is I think it's hard for her right now. Like, the height, she got a lot of height. She got a lot of things on the shoulders, but like how we comparing it to LeBron actually had other superstars that they would talk about. You know what I'm saying? They had Kobe, T-Mac, Shaq, D-Wade, Melo. They had a whole bunch of people. I think the problem with the media is they're not talking about no other players.
Correct.
And they didn't build up no other players. Sorry about that. But yeah, like they didn't build up no other players. Like it would be easier for Caitlin Clark if they've been building up all their star players of their league. But since they haven't did it, the only time you hear about the WNBA is when something happened to Caitlin Clark. You don't hear about nothing else. You know, they cut to whatever else. They don't say blah, blah, blah had 29, 6, and 6 last night. Correct. Or whoever. They're not trying to build nobody up. So I think that makes it even harder for Caitlin Clark because every time she turned on the TV too, she always hears something about her.
Correct. I wish you remember the speech that Paige Buchers gave when she got awarded at the ESPYs last year or year before last. You
I
gotta,
don't remember.
you gotta look that speech up. She said basically the same thing you just said when it comes to women athletics and women's basketball. You know, as a white woman, she went up there and accepted her award, and she said, "I don't want to talk about me while I'm up here. I want to, I want to talk about some of these women of color that has been leading our sport for so long." And like she brought some people to tears by just saying it. You know what I mean? So I think everybody should go look that up and listen to what she said. I wish I would have remembered that. You just reminded me of it. I wish I could have remembered it. I would have had that soundbite ready for y'all to hear. But I thought it was a real inspirational what she said, man. And that's why she's not chosen by the same demographic of people that chose Caitlyn to be their representative. But man, thanks for the call.
Right. Yeah, no problem, man.
Yep. All right, well, we're gonna move on. Let me get some of these comments real quick though. That was one of them I seen that said the referees need to get it right. Let me see if I can pull this one up. Prodigal, thanks for the comment. He said the refs need to get the calls right. I don't know if the calls are wrong. I don't see nothing wrong with the calls, but they're just playing physical basketball. You're not used to it because you've been watching the NBA, and it's possible you haven't been watching any WNBA games at all. It's possible you just seen some highlights of what they're showing you. If that's the case, that's unfortunate, but that is a major issue and could determine outcome of the game. The call was clearly a flagrant, yet the WNBA had to rule it such the next day. Yeah, they didn't see a hip check as a flagrant foul. They got more information from the league office who told them otherwise because the ball wasn't even inbound and all that stuff. So they called it a flagrant. They upgraded it. But if they would have called it a flagrant that game, and the Sky lost that game, Caitlin Clark, that was her second win of the season. They won it. It didn't determine the outcome. And that call was so early in the fourth quarter, it really didn't much matter, right? So getting the calls right just by looking at that one thing, yeah, that's a reach for me. It's definitely a reach for me. Let me see some of these comments. Many of them make $75K or less each year. Okay. Colin made the same point. I'm trying to get the same girls the NBA players get into my bank account. I would be mad also if I make it $65K and Clark Nike deal alone is $25. I don't think no, you probably would be mad, but for you to try to put that on them and I don't think nobody counting her pocketbooks anyway. First and foremost, right? That's just like me saying all the players in the NBA that's making I don't know $350K a year is not even 300. They probably making $600K at the least, maybe $500K. I don't know. Mad at LeBron for making 50 a year. Like that's so easy and low hanging fruit and cheap and lazy to say something like that, and then connect it to what? A hip check or great defense. Like if I play great defense on Caitlyn, I'm jealous because she make more money than me. The only alternative, the only thing y'all want to see is everyone just take their hands off Caitlyn, hands off the merchandise. Caitlyn, do what you need to do to entertain everybody. Let's play Harlem Globetrotter basketball. And then they won't call me jealous. But you know what they will call me? Out of the league. I will be playing overseas. If I can't play well and compete and I can't help my team win, what good am I? You're going to be off the squad. Some of these girls, like you said, making $65K a year, right? Contract only two-year contract. It ain't like you getting 6-year contracts, 2-year contracts. I'm playing for my next contract. I need to play my best. And for someone that plays defense, and that's what you signed me for, why the hell am I not going to play my best defense on Caitlin Clark? If my scouting report say I'm a great defender and a tough defender, and my coach say I'm going to put you on Caitlin this game, that's my opportunity to make sure I go from great defender to best defender in the league. That's going to be more money for me. Everybody keeps saying Caitlin is bringing eyes to the sport, which means more money. I can't get that money if I don't play. And I have to play. And if I'm playing against the Messiah and I show you she's not the Messiah, then yeah, I'm going to be getting some money. I'm going to be getting paid. I just shut her down. If I'm playing Michael Jordan, I want to shut him down. Wasn't nobody saying we just go let Michael Jordan do his thing. Come on, man. That don't make sense. There's a lot of comments. I'm gonna go to the next topic though.